Lars, what are you doing? Get off the phone. You're still trying to hack this thing.
Yeah, Elliot, thanks for checking in. You know, I'm trying to hack my Polarised smartphone with this nice mask and glasses, but you know, access denied.
But you're struggling.
Oh, but it opens my phone.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Did
you see that? It opened my phone.
Criminal has just made it into this phone. Okay, so Lars, what we've just seen is you have this phone and you have this phone. Both similar, identical phones with optical sensors, right? Typically out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And now this one, that's using a standard optical sensor, has mistaken your face, your beautiful face made of flesh and blood, for something of a fake mask.
Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it?
It's disappointing.
Yeah, it really is.
And you've got another camera over here, which you didn't fool.
No, you cannot fool this camera, it's true. So what you've seen, what just happened when I was wearing the mask is...
Whoa, hold there. Only 12% of you subscribed. Do yourself a favor and subscribe for daily engineering content. All right, enjoy it.
That in this Google Pixel phone, the FaceID, like the way it unlocks my real face, it also unlocks against my mask. So the security in a lot of devices these days, the biometric security, is substandard.
Wait, so why is that an issue? Because most of the time, you're not going to have a masked man looking exactly like you trying to get into your phone. Why is that an issue? Why do we need an extra level of security that we don't already have with optical sensing?
Yeah, well, you know, for many people that may not be a problem, but there are people around that have information that they need to protect on their phone, on their laptop, in their workstations, where criminals or other entities go through great lengths to find a way to get in.
Right, great length.
Great lengths like Larry, because access to information in the digital economy is crucial. It's everything. So you would be surprised by what goes on in the biometric world, people trying to open your device without your authorization.
Right.
Our technology prevents this from happening.
What is your technology? What's the difference between this optical camera and this camera that you've developed here?
Yeah, this camera can catch light and replay an image as you're used to it. You look at it every day, many times. The camera that we have developed, which we call Polarised, senses polarization.
Right.
That is embedded in light, which is a unique layer of information that physics gives us that other cameras cannot sense. And what polarization tells you is two things. It gives you shape of the object you're looking at, and it gives you material properties. So in the case of a human face, it looks for the flesh. And the flesh and the blood and the sweat in your skin is very uniquely human. You cannot replicate with a mask made out of silicon or made out of other materials or made out of paper in order to get into a phone. So this allows us to very easily secure your access points, your smartphone or your laptop, by building a camera that can sense authorization.
Yes.
And now we'll do a family picture. You, me, and Larry will all lean in a little. Here's what the camera has seen.
It found you.
It found me.
It found Lars, not Larry.
It found me on the side. And it found you here, and it found Larry in the middle. But look at me and look at Larry. The polarization signature you see here at the bottom
is
nothing
terrifying.
the same. The machine learning models can tell you human spoof, but that is what allows us to instantaneously reject any spoof. And this is what we're productizing in Polarised, and the technology is based on an invention that came out of Harvard. Our company, Metalenz, is spun out of Harvard 7 years ago, and we're building meta surface optics.
Can I ask a question? It might be an
Please.
industry secret. How do you do this? How are you able to extract the polarization of light? So maybe first, can we explain what the polarization actually is, and then how are you able to extract that?
Yeah, absolutely. So light.
Yep.
Light is composed of photons, millions, billions of photons. Each photon is one electromagnetic wave.
Maybe that was an argument 100 years ago, but not anymore.
Not anymore. It's an electromagnetic wave. It carries some energy.
Yep.
But the wave oscillates in different directions, and you don't know which way. And for normal image sensor, it doesn't matter. They capture the energy. They cannot sense, and they don't care about the orientation of the
They
electromagnetic
just care about the
wave.
absolute value.
But that's the polarization.
Right.
Because when the light reflects from a shaped object in a different material, the polarization changes. I still have energy, but if I can also tell polarization, I learn more about what I'm looking at.
Right. Okay, so polarization information. is my skin and your skin, do they give off completely different features of this polarization? For instance, maybe my skin has a polarization where, oh, look right here, this is reflecting all vertically polarized rays, and oh, over here is all horizontally polarized rays. What does the camera actually extract from human skin and flesh? What are you getting from using polarization?
Yes, we capture that signature. It is not that this part of the forehead polarizes differently from this part. It is the skin and the tissue and the vessels and the blood and possibly the sweat or the makeup that impacts how the polarization, the light polarizes upon reflection. In addition to the shape, you see I have a very nice nose. It polarizes very significantly around the hook and all the other features. So it gives me shape and contour. It is very similar for you and me because we're both humans. Our camera will tell me from you very easily by, if I look at Larry,
so the
Larry
face
will
is just unlock.
You see me with my glasses and it says you're human. And now I'll make sure I'm not in the picture. And there you are. And there's Elliot and it says no, can't do. And it says it not because your polarization signature is different, but because your facial features, the distance between your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your cheekbones are different from mine. Yeah. We landmark very carefully. We have two images with this camera, an intensity image to recognize who it is.
Yep. Just like a visual light camera, yes.
And every other camera only has an intensity image. That is what Google was looking at when it opened my phone for the mask.
Yes.
It said, oh, that looks like him, let's open up. It doesn't have the extra information which really secures your access points, your smartphone or your laptop.
Can I ask, at an integrated level, at the actual sensor level, how do you do this?
Yes. So what we have in this test setup is a big screen, but what really matters is a tiny camera on top.
Yeah.
The camera is an image sensor. The image sensor captures photons and energy. We modify this image sensor by putting a very unique optic on top.
Okay.
And this optic can sort polarization. How we create this optic is in a semiconductor foundry. As I mentioned earlier, Metalenz spun out of Harvard and we are building meta-surface optics. Very, very thin wafers of silicon with tiny structures embedded, which we call nanopillars.
Nanopillars, okay.
When photons travel through this silicon wafer with the nanopillars, the pillars will create a phase shift in the photons, in the electromagnetic wave. They change the orientation of the light.
Yes.
So we control the flow of light. We control the flow of light by the state of its polarization. So we have created a special image sensor that has our optic on top. They cannot only sense the energy of photons, but their polarization. And these are the images you see here when you look down and you're all blue in the face.
Yeah.
It has a lot of meaning. It's your polarization signature that our machine learning models will immediately recognize as uniquely human. So it is what we in the Silicon Valley call deep tech.
Yeah.
Now really deep technology, being able to create these structures in a semiconductor foundry, being able to combine it with an image sensor, being able to sell you the entire camera module for less than $5 in volume,
going to ask.
which is the cost and the size of a selfie camera. So instead of walking around with a phone that is a security hazard, because a mask like this can open it, you can now rest assured that with this level of biometric security, you will not have anybody that is not authorized and properly registered ever get access to your goods.
Is this already in any production phones?
No, this is a new technology that we have launched last year. We are currently trialing with a number of smartphone OEMs.
Right.
In the Android space and in other segments as well. We're also talking to laptop makers. We're talking in the IoT space to access control solution providers. That sounds awful, but it is. There are companies that build gates with biometric access means that are unmanned. People step up and try to open. So security is really key. Typically, it's offices that you secure that way. So we're in the IoT space, we're in the compute space, and we're in smartphones. We're talking to AR glasses companies to implement this technology. And you should be able to see first products in market next year, 2026.
Awesome. Lovely to meet you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Elliot, thanks for coming.